We learned in the introductory lesson that 80% of Etsy users are located in the American market. People who visit the platform, as a rule, want to buy something unique for themselves or as a gift. Americans are fond of giving presents, which is why they visit the Etsy marketplace. So if your product is suitable for various special occasions, it can definitely find its place on Etsy. Now let's talk about the categories of goods in more detail. The first is handmade goods, which can include clothes, decor items, organizers, all sorts of accessories, art objects, and so on. Handmade goods must meet the following requirements. Firstly, items must be made by you personally. If they are made by someone from your workshop, be sure to indicate this in the description and when filling out the listing. We'll talk about how to do this correctly in the fourth module. Secondly, only your own photos and videos can be used for listings. If you use other people's photos or stock photos, then it will be clear that your items aren't handmade. Sooner or later, your shop will be blocked. There is one important point. Your products should not be a replica of some well-known brand. This is considered plagiarism, and the marketplace is highly likely to block your shop without offering you the right to appeal. The second category of goods is craft supplies. These can be something with which handmade goods are created. For example, yarn, threads, fabrics. Also here you can sell some small sewing equipment or tools, and other consumables. You can even sell DIY kits. For example, DIY boxes for creating fluid acrylic paintings have been popular lately. In addition to physical goods, this segment also has a digital option. Patterns for embroidery or sewing some kind of clothes, toys, decor, or household items. When selling such goods, make sure that you do not infringe on any copyright. Remember that reselling on the Etsy marketplace is prohibited. If these products are environmentally friendly and make a social impact, this can and should be mentioned in the description. However, you should only include this if it's really true and you can prove it. The third category of goods is vintage products, which are over 20 years old. This can be anything from small brooches to the clothes and accessories of famous brands. In fact, in this case we are talking about resale, since it goes without saying that you didn't produce the goods yourself. This is the only case in which you can post resale items without your shop being blocked. Also note that selling vintage items is the only time you can refer to a specific brand in the description. Etsy may request additional information about products in this category. So, if you want to sell vintage products, be ready to say where you got this item and how you determined its age. Also, don't forget to find out who created the item, what collection it belongs to, and when it was released. If the item is shoes or clothes, state what material it is made of, and if there is any proof of this. Remember, the fact that an item was inherited from a relative who died over 20 years ago or was bought at an antique sale won't make the item vintage. The fourth category of products is digital goods, which includes the patterns and embroideries mentioned above. But that's not all. These can be gift cards or postcards for various holidays. You can also sell posters for wall decor, individual photo retouching services, and so on. Keep in mind that the cost of such products is low, so you will have to increase your income by increasing the number of products, not by raising the price. Now let's find out what not to sell on Etsy. This is very important. Please read the prohibited items policy before you begin. Here you can find all the products that are prohibited or restricted on the marketplace and explanations regarding controversial issues. Remember that your shop will be permanently blocked for the sale of prohibited goods. When it comes to choosing a niche, there are two options. The first option is when you already have a certain product that you would like to sell on Etsy. The second option is when you don't have a specific product, but you want to open a shop on the Etsy marketplace and don't know which niche to choose. Let's consider both options in detail. First, let's assume that you have a product that you want to sell on Etsy. Most likely, you'll have competitors, as there are more than 2 million sellers on the marketplace. In this case, you'll need to invest in advertising and marketing so that your product is found and bought. If you have no money for advertising or your budget is highly limited, then it makes sense to open a shop for a product that is actively searched for on Etsy, but competition is not as high as in other popular niches. So how can you determine which section of the marketplace is popular and good to open a shop in? There are two ways. The first is completely free, and in this case will only work with Etsy. The second is to use the eRank analytics service. Here, you'll need to pay for a pro account about $10 per month. But in the long term, if you want to work with Etsy, you'll need this account anyway. So let's discuss how you can find trendy items on Etsy. Go to Etsy.com. On the main page, we can already see trending products and requests for this period of time. In addition to goods, there are also popular shops. If their topic is something you may be interested in, you can immediately visit these shops from the home page and see what they sell, in what quantity and at what prices. The search can be narrowed down to topics you are interested in. For example, you can choose clothing and accessories to see the popular products and top shops in this category. The general category can also be narrowed down further. In the filter, select a subcategory and country of interest. Similarly, the marketplace will show popular products and stores for this query. Next, choose a shop you like and study it. If you click on the number of sales, you can see what is being sold currently, what is sold most often, and at what prices. This is what we call field work. We explore the website, analyze different shops and their activity, make notes, and draw conclusions. But there is an easier option. You can spend $10 and use eRank. Now let's see how you can work with eRank. Go to eRank.com and visit the Competition Top Sellers section. Select the category you are interested in. Let's use home and living as an example and see a list of the top shops in this niche. Next, we can visit any of these shops and see what they sell, in what quantity, and so on. Here you can also study any listing in detail. You can explore shops not only by category but also by country, in the same manner. This function is located in the same section. Both methods allow you to determine exactly what people are looking for on Etsy, which other stores offer those items and at what price. Thus, you can choose a niche that will definitely be in demand on the marketplace. This means that your shop will sell successfully if you keep doing everything correctly. With that said, studying a niche is not enough to start selling successfully. You also need to analyze your target audience and competitors. We'll teach you how to do this simply and quickly in the next lecture.
Let's pause for a second. If you are confident that you enjoy this course and it is suitable for you, please leave your review. If you don't think it is so, please message us about what to improve. You can write a personal message or express your concerns in the questions and answers section.